Hello, I'm Sherry Gray, and I just wanted to get on here just to kind of talk about things that are on my mind. I am a 52-year-old wife of 29 years. I am the mother of two adult daughters and the grandmother of a handsome 5-month-old grandson. I know I don't look old enough to be a grandmother, but you know, I am, and I'm so happy and proud of it. So, one of the things that I want to talk about today is something that I experienced in my 40s. One of those things was um, really taking a closer look at my retirement and investing. I didn't know because when you're a mother and you are a wife and you are running a household and you're working full time, you kind of lose track of things. You kind of sometimes you lose track of yourself, especially us as women. So I remember my husband and I said, okay, we're in our 40s, we've been saving. We really need to focus on retirement. I was always good at budgeting and living on less than we make and paying down debt and things like that, but we really had not completely focused on investing and saving for retirement. So we booked an appointment with a financial advisor, and the part of the appointment was to bring all of our financial statements, our bank accounts, our retirement accounts, any type, 401k, things like that, just to see where we were. And so we brought all those things to the table, and I was completely shocked. Myself, I'm a woman, I'm a mom, I'm a wife. So I tend to sacrifice. Well, that's me. That's who I am. I can't speak for every wife and mother and woman in the world. But for me, I sacrifice a lot on my end. I sacrificed my retirement because I wanted to save for my kids' education. I wanted to get them things that they needed as far as school and extracurricular activities. And so I used a lot of the money I would have saved for retirement for those types of things. And not thinking that there was anything wrong with that. But when my husband brought his retirement, again, my retirement was at that time probably less than $10,000, and I'm in my mid 40s. So when my husband brought his statement, his 401k was probably almost $100,000. You see the discrepancy there. Um, and it wasn't anything malicious. He actually, his employer encouraged him to invest in their 401k, and they would also match up to a certain point, up to a certain percentage. And so he kind of like blindly saved this money all these years. And me not thinking about it, thinking, okay, he's kind of like pulling his money back and not saving for his own retirement, just the way I am. And it wasn't so. And again, it wasn't malicious. It wasn't anything that he was saying, I'm going to save and let her take on the bulk of, the kids' activities and their education, things like that. For me, it was something that I made a decision on, made a decision for myself. And now, hindsight, it probably wasn't the best decision I could have made, but it really woke me up and it got me thinking. I am in my mid 40s. I am going to retire or hopefully retire in 15 years. It's not a lot of time. What am I going to do? So I got busy and got to the point where now I'm at $100,000. My goal between now, I'm 52 years old again, and 60 is to have, um, is to have $500,000 saved for my retirement. That is my goal. I'm going to use some of um, my mother passed away last year and she left me like a small inheritance, and I'm going to try to use that money. That's my goal, to see how much I can grow it in those 8 years, in addition to also saving in my 401k and in my Roth IRA, things like that. And I can talk about that in another video, go into details about the kind of investments that I plan to make. But I just want to encourage women. I want to encourage anyone, especially women who are, in the 40s and over 50. We can get caught up into putting ourselves on the back burner, and we can get caught up into um, really think of putting other people ahead of ourselves and thinking that it is a noble thing. It is important for us to take care of our families and take care of, the people in our lives that we love, but that doesn't mean we neglect ourselves. And so for a long time, that's what I did. And if I had to do it all over again, I would have done things a lot different. So I'm just here to encourage you, whatever age you are, if you're young, if you're old, if you're kind of in the middle like me, you you want to put yourself in a position where you can save for retirement, and don't think that that means you're being selfish. That means you're putting yourself ahead of your family, because you can still do things for your family. It just may need to be a little scaled back. So because someday you're not going to be able to work. Someday you're going to be in a position where you can't work anymore, and then what? So it's very important, especially for us over the age of 50, to really take a hard look at where we are financially as far as our retirement, and to really start to think about what we can do starting today. It's never too late, starting today, to really put ourselves in a better financial position. And that's what I plan on doing for myself. Again, my name is Sherry Gray. I am 52 years old. I'm a wife, a mother of two adult daughters, and the grandmother of a beautiful 5-month-old young man. So think about where you are right now, and think about where you want to be in the next 8 years, or the next 10 years, or next 20 years, and see what kind of changes you can make, and understand that what you are doing and what you're doing for yourself is not selfish. You're taking care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, no one else will. Okay? Until next time, I'll see you. Bye.